Hey, I'm setting up my chat like one how do I do that? There we go. I think that might be a little bit better. What do you guys? Well, I had big plans. I left my workshop all set up last night. Still seems a little too loud. I don't want to shout at you guys all day. I want to hear the music though. I found a whole catalog of royalty free background music. So can at least have something besides me breathing heavy playing in the background. Um, yeah, I left my shop all set up last night. I haven't brought my power tools in because I had a problem yesterday with the batteries in my power tools saying, no, we're not going to work. It's too cold. So I brought them in so they'd be warm and ready to go. And I knew it was supposed to be 10 degrees today. But I woke up to -5. That's not 10. They were off by a bunch. If I was expecting -5, I would maybe plan my morning differently. But in the meantime, it's Thursday. Turkey's been in the fridge for a week now, and the health department says got to do something with it or pitch it. So I made turkey noodle soup out of everything I could find in my kitchen that would go into the bucket of soup and make sense. And mm, it's pretty freaking good. I'm not gonna lie, but it definitely needs to sit and simmer, which it's currently down there sitting and simmering. To get that broth to work up a little bit, get a little bit more of the turkey flavor. Let's say I don't know how you want to put it, but I tried eating this before I went live, and I couldn't even hold the bowl. It was so hot, and so I had to set it down. But I figured I'm gonna make a ring. I'm gonna try to make it fast. I got my other cameras set up so you can see what's going on. Yeah, I better cut that fingernail. Look at all the dirt underneath that one. I've been doing good about not biting my nails as long as I keep them cut. Because once I break a nail, then I gotta chew it. I gotta get that frayed edge off from there, and then I forget that I don't chew my nails anymore and chew on the rest of them. But I've been keeping them trimmed back so that that doesn't happen. But apparently, I got dirty yesterday, and there's dirt under that now. But it's okay because I'm not cooking in a commercial kitchen anymore. This is my kitchen, and I can have dirty fingernails in my house. It does not kill me; it makes me stronger. Mm. I'm pushing this out vertical and horizontal for you guys that are checking this out, maybe in a replay. I make cool rings. Let's just throw one up on there for a moment so you can see. There you go. There is a Uperlite and copper ring somewhere around here, right there. See it glowing. See them. You get them Uperlites with a fluorescent light. They glow bright orange. So Let me kill the lighting. If that helps. Oh yeah, you can see that bright orange popping. You can see it. Gotta catch everything just right. There we go. From my point of view, I see it just fine. I'm trying to get it from your point of view. So there you go. Glowing. Glowing. That's what I'm making. They're stainless steel ring blank, and they come empty. Usually I've got some crushed up rocks all ready to go. I think I have some now. I'll have to get over there and dig through. I'm going to take these last couple of bites and then I'll get over there. The Modern Michigan Prospect. How much is a ring to be made? How much gold do I need? So Modern Michigan, I've tried putting gold leaf in. I bought one of the Patrick Adair kits and I tried putting gold leaf in it, and I either need more practice or less expectations. But I didn't really like the way it looked. So I have put pieces of gold in these rings. And what I was doing is I was taking the little flour gold and putting it on my stainless plate, which I'll get that out in a minute. You'll see that. And I was beating it down with my hammer to take those itty bitty little fly poops and make them into a flat itty bitty little fly poop. And then I could glue those into the ring and polish over. So it looked like a bigger piece of gold than what was actually in there. And I like the way those turn out, and it's not a huge expense. But before I'm going to take and stick a quarter or a half a gram of gold in a ring, you got to remember too that as you're sanding these rings to polish them and shape them, your gold's just going up in smoke. I suppose I could try to catch it all and then pan it back and get it back, but you're mixing it with glue. So I'm capable, and it is possible. But for right now, financially, for me, I just don't have the gold to be practicing with, nor do I want to try to recover my gold if I mess up. Although it wouldn't take much with a torch to melt the glue and other impurities away. But so I've had good luck with these Uperlite rings. I've had good luck with the copper, and I'm comfortable doing them. Everybody seems to like them, and my wife was supposed to be up here doing some ring stuff, and she'll probably sit down and play up here again someday. But yep, and I have laid garnets in. I got let me turn this light back on. I got that thing just full of garnets. These are all Nugget Lake garnets that we've mined, and then my wife has tediously picked out. And I've set these in the rings, and they look okay. Um, it's not that faceted gemstone quality that you might expect, but there's definitely the layer of garnets. So maybe I should do that. Maybe I should just make a garnet ring today. They're harder to grind. They take longer. The hardness of a garnet is almost that of a diamond. I think they're 8 something, right? So, and I have plenty of garnets to play with. There's a lot more. There's a lot more garnets around here. Somewhere I have a thing of concentrates that needs to be sanded or sorted out. So, Danny dog, did you come up to say hi? Hello there, puppy. Go get in your chair. Lay down. Yeah, get up there. Up. Get up there. There you go. Now people can see you. See, right over there. There's the Danny dog. Yeah. take a 5-hour nap and do what you normally do during the day. There you go. She's probably wanting to be pet, but have I ever melted pure gold and poured it into a mold and made one that way? I have not. Again, I've never had that much gold. Um, you would be talking quite a bit, and I could probably melt gold right now with what I currently possess, and I could make a button. But to get enough gold liquefied and yeah, six to 7 grand. Worst numbers you could have picked. Let's say 5 to 8. These damn kids and they're 6, 7. I could find a blank here. Where are we at? Oh, here we go. So here is I believe this is a size 8. It probably won't fit this mandrel, but there's a size 8. That's stainless. So I don't know if stainless is heavier than gold or not. It's in grams. It is zeroed, and that's a 4.4 gram blank. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely doable. And I actually, now that I see 4.4, I've got that much gold here. But that's also with the channel. So you might be looking at closer to that 7 or 8 before you got a solid gold ring. But then if you did do that, when I made Zach's ring, I don't know if you know my buddy Zach Eastlick. He pops up on my channel when I'm live. We laid his ring in Uperlite all the way around, and then I used my Dremel tool to make 8 holes in it, and I just used these lines on the mandrel. So there's a line every 90 degrees, right? So I turned the line up, and I went in with the Dremel tool, and I just went straight down, and I made an impression. And then I roll it to the next line, made an impression. And then when I had those done, I did between the lines and made the impression. And then this impression and the one below it each got a gold piece. And then these 2 impressions each got a garnet. And then there was a black sand across from each other, and then there was a quartz across from each other. And I think it actually went gold, black sand, garnet, quartz. So it was cool, not so cool, cool, not so cool. And then as you spin the ring, it goes around. He wears his ring every day. He does take it off when he's at work because he works as a mechanic with solvents, and his fingers look way worse than mine do right now. And he was here a couple weeks back, and I threw it right on the mandrel, and I re-polished it for him, and you could still see the gold, you could still see the garnets. And again, that was when I first got all this stuff. It was just me practicing, and I had to have some purpose to make a ring. So I was like, I'm going to make Zach a ring. Zach brings me all the Uperlites, and the gold I used was Zach's gold. He mined at Nugget Lake. There were his garnets that he mined at Nugget Lake, and pieces of quartz, white quartz rock that he mined. Or, you know what I mean. So it's got that value to him. Everything in that ring is something that he picked up out of the earth, and then I glued it all together. So one big gulp, and this will be done. So one of the reasons I haven't done just a straight garnet ring, I figure out where to put this bowl, so I'm not looking at an empty bowl. That soup is amazing. It's just going to keep getting better as it soaks up all the wonderful goodness out of that as it simmers downstairs. Plus, my house smells amazing right now too. Mm. All right, 4 wonderful people watching. I'm just getting going. Hey, nerdy prospector, let me get you a wrench. Yeah, I'm live right now because I have a whole bunch of stuff I should be doing outside, and I got everything ready to go when I came in the house last night. So all I have to do is go fire up the heat in the garage and get right to work. And I'm working on a shed project outside. I've got to make the special cuts on all my rafters and take them out and start setting them. They're solid one-piece rafters. I got to cut the fish mouths out of them and get the gable ends cut. And I figured get them in the garage, get them thawed out, and then I could just go right out and go to work this morning. It was supposed to be 10 degrees today. I woke up to -5. So I decided to do a little work in the studio and let it warm up some. Now it did get up to 11, and I see this outdoor thermometer, which is right on the other side of this sunny window right now in the direct sunlight. It's saying 39 degrees. So honestly, I should shut all this shit down and get outside because this is going to be the 3-4 hours of the day where it's the best. But I thought if I could get a good start, it says it's 10:44. Yep, 10:44. If I can get a good start, get out there at noon, get 2.5 hours of work in, um, I should be close. Once I get the rafters all notched and set, which won't take very long. After they're notched, setting them easy enough. Then there's another layer of wood that goes 90 degrees to those. And then I can get the steel up or get the uh, liner up and then get the steel up. So after that, I can wrap the outside of the building and start doing inside work, or at least be able to put the NIPCO out there and have it warm. But it's not looking like we're going to get very good weather for the rest of this week. So I'm going to be poking away at that a couple hours at a time and then working on warm projects like this. And I'm this close to having all of my prizes for my giveaway party. I've had a couple of things come up where the days I wanted to do the party on didn't work out. And so hopefully tonight I'll get the rest of my stuff done, get my pay dirt bags put together. I got a gem bag I've got to put together, and I've got like 6 more rocks I need to polish. So I'm doing a collection of polished rocks. I got a couple of ore that's tabbed and polished. It should have visible gold, might only be visible with a microscope. But I got to finish polishing them, and that'll be when I get the garage warmed up because that's a wet activity, and I need it nice and warm for that. But I need to do something here, even if it's wrong. Can we see okay? Yes. You guys hear me okay? The music too loud, not loud enough? Let me know. Might as well get a chew in. Get that nicotine figured out. I am going to have to moonlight these comments a little bit. Control plus. Your wife is interested in polishing rocks. Any suggestions for tumbler? I tell you, we got the cheap one from Amazon. It's out of the basement right now. Tumbler isn't really the big part of it. It's the accessories. Where we found the cost of the aggregate that you have to add, and then you end up just dumping that stuff down the drain. That's where it gets hard on the tumbling. But the tumbler at Harbor Freight isn't much different than the one that we bought on Amazon. I think the one she bought was like $60 or $70, and it came with a bunch of other stuff that we can't I really do like the tumbler. It does a nice job. It is a very slow process. What you'll find is once you get one tumbler, you're going to want 50 of them because you can only do a small handful, which a small pile of rock at a time. But I do have, I think right on top over here, yeah, I think this is an assortment of my wife's tumbled rock. So this is how they look when they come out. Um, so I've been polishing with my buffer. We've got a buffer for buffing auto body paint, and I bought a whole series of diamond pads for it. And there's a little video on my channel about it. Um, and it's definitely, oh, there's another cool one. We like these rocks with stripes for sure. But you definitely kind of got to know what you're doing as far as going through all the steps. But this is a rock that I polished. Two different rocks that I polished, and so I took this rock from looking like a rock to looking like this in about 30-35 minutes. And she took this rock from looking like a rock to looking like this in about a month and a half. So, but she also did all these other rocks at the same time, where I can only do them one at a time. Although each step you go 50 grit, 100 grit, 200 grit. So I'll do 10 rocks at a time at 50 grit, set them in a pile. I'll put it to the 100 grit. I'll do them same 10 rocks, set them in a pile. And so I'm getting faster that way, doing the same thing with my slabs. So I don't even know which camera I should be watching at this point, but these rocks here are definitely going to be in my giveaway with my polished rocks. So these were practiced rocks. They're really cool. They got lots of neat colors. They got a great shine to them. You can see right across there, that one's actually got just a little bit of haze. But I don't know if, yeah, there's just a little bit of haze. It's kind of gotten better there. But I could get these shinier. But it's a matter of, like, you can see the difference between the cylindrical shape one shine and that hazy part on that right there. And I'd probably have to take this one back down to like 400 grit, maybe even 200 grit, sand out them scratches, and go all the way up through again. So I don't see any 50 or 100 grit scratches. Pretty aggressive. So it's somewhere in that 2 to 400 range. And then I just work my way all the way back up. Now, parts of this might not have that haze at all. I might have got it perfect in some spots and not so great in others. But that's the nice thing about the buffer. I can say, oh, this surface didn't get what I wanted, and just go back and just buff that surface and bring it all the way up. Or there are some rocks. I don't know if I have any here. Here's a difference between this one is buffed to 50, and this is the exact same rock that I took all the way to 3000. Well, this is one that we made into a pendant, and I plan on buffing this all the way. And then if you see the line here, I'm going to cut that into those two almost guitar pick shape. But once I get them both cut, I'll put them together and make them match. Even if I glue them to each other and then work them as one rock and then break them back apart again. And then we're going to glue some studs on each end and make a earring and chain setup. But again, just playing around. This one's actually got some pretty tellurides going on in it. Obviously, this one will have it too. And I really think right in the tip of, I think it's this rock. I think it was right up in the tip up here. There was a spot, or maybe I'm thinking of a different one. You could actually see what appeared to be gold. Um, I got a lot more organized up here, but yet I still don't know where anything is. I think the rock I'm looking for right now is downstairs, but I have several where I maybe cut the rock in half and then cut another flat surface perpendicular to that. Only polished those two surfaces and left the rest of the rock natural. And I did that one because it's quick and easy, and two because it gives me a visual reference. I can see what the rock looked like, and I can see what it looks like after polishing. And it's kind of nice too when you're holding it in your hand, like, oh, this was a cool rock, and then you flip it over and, oh, wow, look at all that stuff going on. And yeah, it would be great to cut it all up and polish it, but then, like I said, being in the learning process, I want to know, like, oh, that rock looks just like that rock. So when I polish that rock and flip it over, it's going to look like this. So that's helping me be more selective in which ones I'm going to polish next. But this always happens. I say I'm going to make a ring, then I talk about anything but making rings, which is fine with me. I can help you guys. And I'm going to at least pretend to start working on it. That soup is not done, but it's done enough to eat. I've been eating whatever you get leftovers. Don't eat my homemade turkey noodle soup. What do you got for leftovers? My daughter's home for lunch from school. Well, this man roast, I think this is the one I want. Ooh, no, it's not the one I want. Cool. Cool, because it's dirty and I don't really want to clean it. All right. So I like these ones the most where it keeps the ring out to the end. It gives me more room away from this to work. And so I have several different size handles for different size rings. You try to find the handle always to let you work closer to the end. And not that it really matters. I'll rest my hand right on this thing when it's spinning. So this is not a lathe. This is Ace Hardware quarter horsepower drill press that I took apart, made a bracket for, mounted, as you see on this camera over there, mounted it up and down like this on the desk. My power control is right here. I must have it unplugged. Oh yeah, totally got unplugged to put me back in. Oh, that must be the light. Yeah, okay. I have a heater. I can unplug. Oop, I did not unplug the heater. I don't know what I unplugged. Printer's still on. Computer's still on. Starlink's still on. I have no idea. I just unplugged something. Everything important is still working. That's underneath my desk looks like National Lampoon's Christmas. Love you, bye. Oh, sorry for the distraction. No, it's all good. It's all good, man. Uh, yeah, the grid is more important now that I'm looking at your chats over there again. Uh, and I'm here. I don't think you can see the shelf, but this is ceramic beads. Here's a step 2 medium grit, and this is just ceramic beads. But so every grit, step 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you learn things like some rocks you think you want to polish, and you try to polish, and you find out that as the rocks are breaking down, the pieces of rock breaking off are stronger than the grit you're using. So then your rocks end up becoming your grit, and they will dull. So you'll get to like step 3, and your rocks aren't near as shiny as they were in step 2, and it's because the rocks you're trying to tumble are breaking down and becoming their own aggregate and screwing up the batch. And those are the ones you want to get out and tumble by themselves. And that's the learning curve, trying to figure out which rocks are going to do that to you and which ones aren't. So this mandrel's cleaning up much better than that other one was. So one thing I need to do, this is the only blade I've ever had for this X-Acto knife. It has done some serious cutting. And I don't have another blade. I need to go get on Amazon and order up some. I always forget about it until I grab the knife. Oh, you know what? I've never changed that X-Acto knife. And then what'll happen is as soon as I order it, I'm going to be out in the garage digging through some stuff, and I'll find like 100 packs of blades, which there's probably 3 or 4 of those out there. If I know where the shit was all at. Okay. So, oh yeah, this is working. Oh yeah, it's working good. So right up there, I don't ever get too carried away about tightening them down super tight. The worst thing that happens is the ring spins a little bit, and then you just address it from there. Very interesting fact. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Try to make that chat just a little bit bigger. Oh yeah, I can see that from across the street now. So you guys can kind of see that monitor there. That's yeah, so that's a vertical monitor, and then I pop the chat out and put it over there, and then you can see I've Google zoomed it to where, I don't know, those letters are 3/8 of an inch tall, so I can just glance over and follow chat from here. I've got my new camera, which is supposed to have face tracking. There it is. So it'll zoom right in, and I mean, it's supposed to follow me around the room. It seems to lose me after so many feet, but I'm okay with that too, because it shows everything I need to see. The picture quality seems to be top notch. All right, so the ring's in there, spins, everything's good. Oh, no, everything's not good. You could see it's going up and down. So I don't think my mandrel's in there very well. I know my chuck's not bad. So just give it a little rotation. That is no good. That don't look much better either. It's smooth though. Maybe I'm just seeing the tip going up and down. Yeah, we'll take that. So I do like when I get started. And I think I go 100, 180, 320, 600, 1500, 3000 when I'm polishing. Um, I think when I was cutting paper up the other day, I didn't have much 100, but I had 60 grit. I believe this is a 60 grit. All I'm doing right now is just trying to rough up. The 60 grit's actually pretty good for that. But I'm just trying to get in there and rough up that channel, get some grooves in it, because that will help the glue, giving it more surface area. Glue likes a nice rough surface to grab a hold of. I'm working on corners especially. It's just a quick little prep. I could probably do this just the same by grabbing one of my carbide bits. Here's a carbide. I can just get in there and work it like a lathe. But no doubt that got it groovy. Oh yeah, you can see how it's no longer super shiny in there, nice and groovy. So much happier with that. Okay. I got crap to get out of the way here. Put things back where they belong. And I think there's a bunch of gold in that snuffer. I know when I make my bags for my giveaway, all of these snuffers with a little bit of gold in it are getting dumped into the base of the pay dirt. And I'm going to tap that pay dirt around and show everybody what's in there for gold. And I'm going to split that into 2 bags. And then I'm going to add a 1/4 gram of gold to each bag. So there will definitely be 1/4 gram plus. And people should be really happy with what they get. And it gets me out of having to clean gold the rest of the way down. Because it can be tedious. Not that I don't know how to do it or can't do it, but you can get 90% of the gold out in 20 minutes and then spend another hour getting that last 10%. Or I can dump that in a pay dirt and let someone else have that problem. All right, so I have to get in here and look. That appears to be blue lapis. If it turns gold under the UV light. Yep. Blue lapis with gold chunks in there. I'm not trying to make a blue lapis ring right now. These are definitely euchrolytes, but they're not crushed. Can you see them glowing up? Overpowered, but keep digging. Now, there's a huge euchrolyte and a fluorite. So fluorite turns purple under the black light. Euchrolyte has that orange glow. And these together make a really neat ring as well. One of my second favorite rings that I make. Um, that is chalcopyrite, which does not make a good ring. Even though there's all kinds of really cool, neat colors in there, and you think they'd be great in a ring, when you go through the sanding process, it sands the colors off. And then, yeah, you can do some acid dips to get those colors to come back. But when I make the rings, they're made with a CA glue, which is a fancy super glue. And so the acid can't actually get to the ring. And if it did, it's going to compromise the glue. So I've made a pyrite ring. It looks nice, but it has none of the cool colors. It's just that almost gold looking copper bronze look that pyrite has. So this is euchrolytes, and you can really see that is not, like there's that purple light on the tip of my thumb. Let me get up in here. So there's the purple light on the tip of my thumb. Move it into there. It's so hard to judge this angle. But you can see that is not just the light. You're seeing it turn bright, bright orange. That is the good stuff. Boy, is that some super bright. This has already all been crushed down. Know what I do to crush these down is I just take big rocks and a hammer and a steel plate, and I crush them down. So I get that nice dust that you see. The thing I like to do is glue some copper in. One thing that I do not have up here is my side cutters to cut this copper. I got pliers that kind of cut it. Bummer. I always forget about needing to bring a pair of them up here until I start doing this, and I don't have a pair up here. I am going to try this crappy pair of scissors. So I can do this without poking an eye out. Here, you guys want to see what I'm doing. Well, somewhere right there. And no, I'm not going to do it. I got a gooder pair of scissors that might do it, but I don't want to do it for them. Rusty pliers. Let's just see. Now, one thing, I noticed that this is curled around. I did that on purpose to start getting the radius into these pieces so that more of it glues down. But I will be making sure that that radius stays in there as I'm setting these so that I get full contact. Okay. Well, they're flying, but they're landing where I can get at. I always joke with people, genuine Michigan copper, straight out of my roller Romex. I'm just going to cut the whole thing down from the radius more here. So also, this is probably going to cancel out any of the bend radius stuff I got going on, but I am going to attempt to beat these a little bit with a hammer. I'm going to try out a couple of them to see how it looks. The flatter I can make them now, the better they'll be when I go to work them. Heavy metal, what's going on? What's going on, buddy? I think I like that. The biggest thing is lay down. I need like a die, itty bitty. Kind of got the radius. Got a little bit of that going on. I can get that bend in right away. I had problems with the last string I made, and it was a heavier gauge copper as well, but it stayed straight. And so with it, where's my finger here? With it straight in the ring, having the radius, it only glued here, and then there was a big buildup of glue, and then the tips were sticking up. So as I sanded it, they were getting caught and ripping out. So I'm trying to keep that bend radius. The other thing that I've done is just grab the dang things, just beat a flat spot in them, grab them like that, put the radius back in. Now, set things in there. That one's upside down, of course, exactly the opposite of what I'm trying to achieve. There we go. So, see how many times have I bumped this camera to where you don't quite have right here. I got stuff. I don't know what was going on with this one that it stays so well, but that's the view you're going to be stuck with, I guess. Try my hardest to make it good for you. But, so, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to want to do. I'll try to pick out a bunch that are the same size. Now, this one's got a nice bend radius to it. So maybe if I do I don't even have to beat them flat, to be honest, because I'm going to sand them flat. So I'm just going to pull ones I like. Try to get, there's four that are almost identical. So here, you guys can see. Try to make it to where they're all real similar. Keep some kind of uniformness. Those ones are itty bitty. Those will be useful for something. Maybe not this ring. These ones are all a little longer, so maybe I'll go long, short, long, short. This one here's kind of right in the middle. Not sure yet. I really need. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 long, short, 3 long. I don't know. There's one way to find out. Just a itty bitty little bit. Have my side cutters. These are perfect. And that was more than an itty bitty little bit. So, try this again. Just a itty bitty little bit. One more time. Hold. Don't be like that. Alright. I got an itty bitty little bit. Now let's take an itty bitty little bit more. There we go. So now they're good enough. Good enough. All right. I heard you mention sending issues while listening to the RDN video. Trial and error when you're teaching yourself, right? Yeah. So this is probably about the sixth or eighth one I've made where I put copper in, and that one on the RDN video, that was a heavier gauge wire, and it should be around here somewhere. I'm not seeing it. It's not the first time I've used that wire, but that's the one where they kept flipping out on me. And I'm really, really not 100% sure what happened or why. But I did get it to hold, and I got it polished and finished, and it looks great. But I didn't like the fact that I had to work over. I've done it before, like with the gem ones, where I sanded too long without putting water on, got the glue hot, and a gem got hooked and flew out. That wasn't the case with the copper. So it um, it is trial and error. I am learning, and that's why I'm kind of trying to take a few extra steps before I get going here to avoid that from happening. One thing I would really like to do, and we'll see if I can get these players to hold, is I'd like to maybe hit them with the grinder just to rough them up. But that was kind of why I was beating on them as well. So, like there, I have just enough showing. I don't know what I have in here, but the other thing I have to do is make sure that I got the radius the right way. But oh, yeah, see, I'm just not gonna be able to do that. Um, but that's where the whole beating them up with a hammer a little bit. I also wonder if the other copper I was using didn't have some kind of a coating on it from the insulation yet. So one thing I am also going to do is I should have a leaf torch up here, is just in case I'm going to hit all these like this with a lighter. And you'll see that with finer braided copper wires. Um, there's actually a coating around the wires, and then anywhere where they make contact with solder burns the coating off. And so I might have very well had that other piece of copper that I was using might have had either a coating on it or just the first like invisible layer of the insulation, but then preventing me from getting a good bond with my glue. So just by doing this with the lighter, if there is a thin layer of anything on there, this is going to take. It's going to darken it a little bit too, but the exposed parts get sanded, so I'm not concerned too much about that. I will be concerned if I touch them while they're still hot, though. Although stainless plate should pull a lot of heat out. So, um, somewhere, there you go. I keep these handy dandy pieces of paper. Keep them folded like that. And I use these underneath so I can get this cool stuff out of the way. And now as I'm gluing, I do make a mess. Put on the paper out on my desk, which is covered in glue. But there we go. So I use different glues. I have a super thin. Where we at? Super thin, if you can see it in there, is moving around, very liquidy. I have a medium, which I honestly think my medium is done. I think that I think I need to order new glue. But yeah, I'm really lucky. Last year, these not drying up. As long as you leave the tip on, they'll shut. But I think the tip had cleaned out and it just let air get into it. So I need to get on my wholesale site and order. And then here's the debonder, and then my thick. Yeah, see, you can see that thick's in there moving back and forth. So I start with thick. This one's even got a good tip already. I'm lucky that one didn't dry up. Usually I always try to turn them upside down, leave a little bit of glue in the tip. So, and the next time you use it, you just put a new tip on, and your glue's good. This one, and it's been, oh geez, 5 or 6 days since I used that. I used it to make my pictures on a sticker, and I used it to make my pictures on a sluice. You can kind of see it underneath the gold there. I'll hold it up to this camera and get you a better look at it. So my buddy Marty, the Primal Prospector, makes these keychain sluices. I glued some pictures to it, so someone's going to get a keychain sluice. He makes them in all different sizes. This one, he actually 3D printed little gold nuggets on there. Use that same glue to glue the picker on the sticker there. Get you a nice zoom into that. I'm fortunate enough to have a gold pan on my sticker, and I put a piece of gold in it for the picker on the sticker. Sure makes it cool. And if you can see up here, I got a benzo sticker that I just found cleaning the shop up. I got a Careless Whisper sticker with an opal stuck to it. And then here's the benzo to the moon sticker right there. So those guys taped them on. People say we tape them on so you can peel it off. You want the gold off? Peel it off. Hey, Mandy, how you doing? I'm doing more talking than working, but part of it, right? You guys hear the background music? Does it sound all right? Should it be louder? Should it be quieter? I don't know. I found royalty-free music on Amazon. Thank you. Thank you for the sticker wall. It grows all the time. I got the black bags going up there, Indiana Creek. I got a benzo bag, and then the gold ones are actually my pater bags that are brand new. I put those up as placeholders, so as I do more gold, I'm going to pull the gold ones down and replace them. I've obviously done a ton of the Flower Gold Wizard ones, so those bags got up there. I even have more of those, but I didn't put them all up there. I got a Careless Gem bag. That one was great. I got one of my favorite stones ever from Careless. Right here, real close and personal. And I had this for months before I knew. Isn't that just a kick-ass polished rock? And egg shaped, and I thought, man, that is so sweet. And then one day I happened to hit it with a black light, and oh, we gotta get over you guys because it's there we go. You see it? It is a Uber light, and there is your no orange. You see that orange popping up? I had no idea it was a Uber light. I just thought it was a cool, polished, little Canterbury egg-sized rock. And one day the black light hit it, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's a Uber light!" This is one of my favorite rocks. Careless, thank you so much. You know what I told you before, but this stays right in here, and this is my completed ring bag. I don't know which camera you're watching, but I try to get you a little flash here. But if you're watching the big one, you see me. Do I find my Uber lights on the South Shore? I find my Uber lights in my driveway when my buddy Zach shows up. He goes, amongst other places, to Little Girls Point and the Black River Beach, which that's easy enough for me to remember because I live in Black River Falls, Wisconsin, and he finds Uber lights and the Black River Beach at Superior. So get out your Google Maps, type in Black River Beach or Little Girls Point, and that will give you a start off point. And then there are some Uber Light Facebook groups that I follow, and I can't off the top of my head think of what they're called right now. But They're pretty good about giving you out spots to go look. And then they show you the one. There's a state park up there that's got a Uperlite boulder. Apparently, it's under many cameras. So, but it's a huge, huge boulder, and when you hit it, the whole thing just lights up crazy. But so when Zach goes, they go quite a bit. He showed me a picture of a tray about the size of this desktop with Uperlites all sorted out, and then but he brings me back. Right here is my current collection, and I'm sure there's more. I always find more, but he brings me back stuff like this. And usually I pick out the itty bitty tiny little Uperlites because I'm most of the time I'm just smashing them into dust. So, you know, oh, face tracker, there you go. Zoom in. So yeah, heavy metal back to work. All right, man. That sun's breaking a long time. Thanks, dude. Thanks. Okay. Yeah, heavy metal. I gotta hook up with him one of these days. He came up to Nugget Lake, and I went up and spent the day in the creek with him. And he's down by Racine. Doesn't look like he's got very far to go to get to Lake Superior. And I want to go hang out with him down there for a couple-hour drive to go down, whatever, 4-hour drive. I don't care what it is. But it's nice to go somewhere where you know someone can take you out, and that eliminates half of the issues. Like I can tell you where I go dig gold. I can tell you I dig gold at Nugget Lake all the time. When you go to Nugget Lake and you find out that it's 20-acre park with 20 miles of trails that are all intertwined and two different creeks that if you don't know where you're going, everywhere you go at Nugget Lake, you can dig and you can find gold. But to know where the hot spots are, where we've been hitting, where we're continuously finding nice pans, you almost need someone to show you. Or just watch one of my videos. Literally, we draw maps. That's one of the only places I'm going to do that, by the way. Unless I take you somewhere personally to a creek, I don't try to give up my spots anymore because I go out and find them, put the work in to find them, just like Lucas goes out, puts the work in to find, just like Jason goes out. Jason says one of his absolute favorite spots he shared with some guys. Now we can't even go there anymore because they've just taken over the place. So I'm afraid that that's going to happen. And there's gold everywhere. You just got to get out and look for it. Right? But I know the Uperlites, those spots. If anybody Googles it, they're going to tell you to go to those two, Black River Beach, Little Girls Point. But it is great if you can get in with someone. Like I said, any of you guys want to reach out to me, I'll take you to all my favorite spots. Especially if you're from a long ways away where I know you're not going to come back and ruin it. But as far as just me going live and pointing on the map, this is where you want to go. No. If I do ever do that, don't trust that map. It's going to be there's going to be signs that say you should have bought some squirrel food on the way. You know the movie reference I just made. Wanda. All right. So what I'm going to do is just about ready. This is like one of them videos where just keep watching. I'm about to start. I'm not trying to do that on purpose. What I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these copper and I don't know if you can try to find something so you can see the ring here like this. I'm going to glue the copper in at an angle from side to side, and then the next one I'm going to glue in like this. And so then as you spin it, it has that this way, that way, this way, that way, this way, that way. I've done them straight. I've done them every which way. I like the zigzag tractor tire pattern. So Want to know why I'm doing what I'm doing and how I'm doing what I'm doing and what my reasoning is? Because this is the way I like it. And then you'll notice I'm using these lines. Let me turn this. I'm using these lines as my indicator, as my reference. So there's 4 of those lines every 90 degrees. So I've got 8 pieces here. I'll put 4 on, and then I'll do the halfway points after. So I put them straight up and down, so gravity is not an issue. And I am going to squeeze a little bit of glue out onto the paper just to get it flowing, get that tip full, and then I can also pick up out of that puddle too. So it doesn't take much, right? Get that glue in there. That was more than enough. See if I have some straight tweezers. I prefer a pair of straight tweezers that already have glue on them. These are nice ones that have glue on them and have been burned. Again, try to get that radius bent down. Where did my glue go? Right there. Okay, it wants to naturally just sit like that. So we'll put that first one in just like that. There's a little view for you. And pour on a little. Try to get it. I do have glue accelerator. I can spray glue accelerator on there. But what I have found is the glue accelerator, even though it hardens the glue and it works great, it's got a little purple UV action going on to it. So if I'm making a fluorite ring, I don't care. I'll use accelerator because fluorite's purple. When you're making a Uperlite ring, you end up with little purple specks all over in the Uperlite that shouldn't be there. It should just be orange. So I end up having to take my sweet time. And I think I'm just going to do the quarter right away. So I'm only going to turn 45 degrees instead of 90. And that way I don't forget my pattern, which really it's not that hard for me to do and not forget. But yeah, so this one's going to go ahead facing like that. Perfect. That's just a minute. Right on through with the next one. Just go ahead and bang right through this because if I do this fast enough, well, this base layer of thick glue is still wet. I can start setting my U lights in. I'm going to go back and just move this guy a little. No, I'm not. That guy is where it is. So get her moving. This, like that position. See, goes in. I don't want to go there. Not happy with that at all. Let's try to grab it and reset it. It's now stuck to my tooling. There, I'm happy with it. There is where I want it to sit. So stay. Here you go. Big old blobber dauber of glue there. Get this one bent or grabbed by the right radius. Get it to down. I think I like that. Another little dibble dabble. This way. Like that. Seems to be sitting in there nicely. Hey, Brad, how's it going, buddy? I told everybody else I had big plans on getting some stuff done in the shop. Starlink. There we go. All right, sorry about that, guys. Starlink must have been a gap in the satellites. Anyhow, yeah, I got my garage all set up. So all I have to do is go out this morning and flip the switch. I got all the tools out of my trailer in the garage. I got all the wood in my garage. I even cleared out a spot, so I had room to run the wood through the table saw. And fully expected to wake up to 10 degrees, woke up to -5. But there's a big difference in -5 and 10. And as far as getting my 32 by 32 garage with 10-foot ceilings, cement walls, big difference in how long it takes to get it warm. So I thought I would kill some time. It's 11:40 now, so I'm gonna get this first. I'm just gluing this up. I probably won't start grinding on it because I'm not using any accelerator. But I figured I'd get this glued up and shoot some shit with some people on the old live, and then I can get out to the garage and work on the project I'm supposed to be working on. That keeps my wife off of my back because it's her project that I told her I'd get done, and I didn't get done yet. What you just saw me do there was I covered the whole ring in super thin glue, and now I'm going to just sprinkle this finely chopped Uperlite dust all over that, and that's just going to fill in, and just like that. Now that is the base layer, we'll say, and I do go through and I just try to tap it in, just trying to push down any voids and get it where it's packed in there good, good, good. I can feel it getting harder already as I'm doing this. And now I'm going to go over one more time. Oh, I got to move my paper. I don't want to, I'll get all those rocks back that are on the paper if I don't glue them to the paper. So now I'm going to go over one more time with the super thin glue. And this is going to fill all these rocks in from the top side and really lock them in and fill in all the voids. And if everything's good, when I get done with my initial sanding, I won't have any voids. I won't have anything to fix. And usually I got to take it from 100 to about 320, get it good and wet, and then look at it. And I can tell whether or not I have done that well enough or not. But, and then if I haven't, I just clean it up a little bit, fill it in with some glue, dump in some more Uperlite dust. So, this does look like I got it pretty flipping good though. So I'm happy with that for now. Now the next step, which I won't be doing right away, I use these, this is my Dremel tool, and I use these. This one here needs to be replaced, but I'll do that real quick. So it's just these sanding drums, and I buy the cheapest ones I can get on Amazon because you go through quite a few of these. I'm actually going to pull out quite a few of these. I know it's going to take me at least 3 or 4 for this ring. Bag. It came with 3 different Starlink buffering me again. But I'll put in the smaller mandrel and I'll start picking out the next size smaller. But this was a great value. I think this was like $17. And there is hundreds and hundreds of these drums versus like Harbor Freight has um, some, Walmart has them, but you know when you start buying them like this, uh, they just the price is jumping up tremendously. And then you can even buy the Dremel ones. I haven't found that any one of them lasts better than another one. When you're talking about spinning sandpaper, Uperlites are fairly soft, but when you start hitting like quartz and garnets, something with that 7, 8, 9 on the Mohs scale, it tears them up quick. You know, you can see with this one here, it's got spots of missing paper, and you'll get a line right in it, and then you're just sanding with cardboard versus this guy, and that's all there is to it. And then over on this side, if you can see on the big camera, it just a benchtop grinder with this thing stuck into it, and I got variable speed. So, and then the trick is, you don't spin this right away. You sand here, spin it 90 degrees, that in the garbage. Sand again, and you kind of take lumps out of it, right? You're just hitting all your high spots until eventually, and when you get to the stainless will stop this from going in. You'll scratch stainless up a little bit, but you get that back in the polishing stages. So yeah, you just want to work little spots, and then once you get it where the bulk of what's sticking up is gone, then you can turn it on and spin it and really get after it and get a nice uniform hit done. So, but like I said, I do have an accelerator that I can spray on that glue to speed up this process. But even with the accelerator, they still tell you to wait. And I also don't like using the accelerator because it turns purple under the UV light. And this shouldn't have any purple in it when I'm done. So if you get any purple, it's because I got a hunk of dust or impurity in there. But there is, you can really see that thing lighting up right now. Try to turn that light off for you. Where are we at here? There you go. There's the crazy view. Now, another thing I have done with these and I have tried is I've done just Uperlite. I've left them humped up like that, and then I've profile sanded them. So instead of being a flat ring, it was that rounded like that, more of a 3-dimensional. But even if I just do solid Uperlites and no copper, these are a pretty neat looking ring. And I know some people that wear them every day. There isn't a lot of times in our lives that we get near a black light during the day, but if you go out to like a nightclub at all where they're doing the stamps and checking your licenses you'll see the bouncers using the black light to look for the cool features on the IDs to know they're not fake. And then you get that ring. It's a great conversation piece. Holy cow, what just happened to your ring? Why did that light up? And that's why. So, all right. Just because I've got everything so nice and clean and organized, I'm going to go ahead and take a minute here and put everything away. Because I've been doing good since I cleaned up my shop up here, putting everything back where it goes. And then when I do come up to work, like today, I was just able to sit down and work. Other than, I need my side cutters up here. Note to self, Carl, bring up your side cutters. And I've told you guys I've got a smelter. I used to melt aluminum cans down. This is the bottom of a cake pan. And I know the cake pan itself, if you're looking in the big camera, was tall. And then this would have been down, so the bottom of the cake looked like that. I only poured it that thick, and you can see it's got some imperfections in it, whatnot, little crater in it there. But these are just neat. I use them to set stuff on, or you can set the hottest pan on there and just set it down like to protect your countertop. But I'll take these and throw them on. It doesn't matter if you got a gas or an electric stove. Just throw them right on the stove top. Don't forget them. I did that once, made a big old mess in my kitchen. But set this on the stove top, and you can get this up to, I forget the melting point, was it like 1200 degrees or something? You can get this up around 800 degrees, no problem. And then wrap it in a towel. And I used to take these out when I'd go hunting. I'd wrap them in a towel and stuff them in right here. And I could go sit in my deer stand. And sometimes I'd take 2 or 3 of them out. They're not super heavy. This is a couple pounds. But if they're wrapped up and you don't have them just out in the exposed elements, they'll hold heat forever. Hey there, Gene Does Things. Let me check you out quick, and if I like what I see, I'll get you a wrench. Go to channel. 287 subscribers and 83 videos. You dumpster dive and thrift shop. I think we'll get along just fine. Join me in my, I don't know, for whatever reason. Oh, I've got this window shrunk way down. That's why. Dumpster dive, I thrift shop. Join me in my ventures and see what things I will do. All right. I like what I see. Welcome to the chat, Gene. Let's get you added as a moderator. There you be. I can encourage you now to check out everybody else's channels. You can like and subscribe and follow along in all of our adventures as well. Got the gold pan out there too. Still stalking your channel. Find first things first, I'm subscribed to you. You got some shorts. Let's click a like, leave a comment. And that seems to help them stick. We just started a new account with the Red Dirt Nation. What a ride that was. Started the account Saturday night, 7, 8 o'clock at night. My Sunday night, we worked a bunch of live chats, and there's 2 of us at this point logging into the account on the lives, and 3 of us logging into the account to do background stuff. Me in Wisconsin, one guy way over here in Canada, one guy way over there in Canada. And so I suppose that was suspicious enough for YouTube. The account keeps getting logged in 5, 6, 800 miles, 1,000 miles, 2,000 miles away each time from different accounts. But we got it up to 77 subscribers by Sunday night, and we went to bed. Woke up Monday morning with 44 subscribers. I came on and did a live, and on my personal channel like this, and was telling everybody, oh, you're from Wisconsin too? Where are you from, Gene? But I saw it go down as low as 43, and then I had it up to 45, and I went to log out, We were at 39. So 5 o'clock rolled around. Oh, okay. Oh, are you have another account? There's another Gene in Wausau. Are you using a different account now? I think there's another Gene I've been talking to in Wausau as well, but it wasn't Gene Does Things. I want to say Cloth. I can tell you. So anyhow, yeah, we got 5 o'clock rolled around. Other people were going live. We got our subscribers back above 50. I did a test live stream. 14 minutes into the live stream, YouTube shut our account down completely. 4 minutes later, they reinstated it. And then we had a big live stream with the Flower Gold Wizard that night at 7:30. We broadcasted to our Red Dirt Nation account and Prospecting 403's account just as a safety backup in case we got shut down again. And everything went great. Today we've got like 102, 103 subscribers. I don't know. I haven't looked, but yeah, YouTube was really, really not being nice to us. So the whole point of that is we've been every time we like and subscribe, I try to go on, like a video, leave a comment. It seems to help YouTube not take your subscription away. Gene. Yeah, Gene Cloth. Are you Gene Cloth? Oh, okay. So you are the same person. All right, Gene. Perfect. Perfect. Well, we got you added on here. I'll pop in if I remember later. I'll pop in with the Red Dirt channel and get you added on that one as well. I'll get you another stuff. And yeah, YouTube has gotten ridiculous. Now, I personally am a premium member, so I don't see hardly any commercials at all. And I've got to see if I can get that Red Dirt Nation channel listed as one of my kids because now when I log in as Red Dirt Nation and click on YouTube, I get 2 minutes of commercials before I can join the live chat. And I don't like that. I don't want to pay for another premium account either. So I'm going to see if I can list RDN as my kid or something like I have my wife and my kid. Gene, I'm in Black River Falls. So um, for me, it's about 15. I take that back. It's about 20, 25 minutes for me to get to Neilsville, and then about 20, 25 minutes again for me to get up to Wisconsin Rapids, and then about an hour for me to get over to Wausau. And I go to Brokaw often. I go to, I know the Wisconsin River is supposed to have gold. This summer, I didn't make any trips to Brokaw because I was planning on doing my drop offs up there. I go to Turks, and then I was gonna spend the day coming back. The last time I went up to Turks was in the spring, and it was a couple of snowflakes when I left here, and a foot of snow in Wausau when I got there. And I wasn't going out prospecting. I'd had enough winter prospecting. I was looking forward to spring prospecting, and then I never made it. I also was watching the dam project there by Stevens Point all summer, and I had fully intended on going there. Not Stevens Point, but a gate down or one or two gates down. They had dropped the river there to do repair on the dam, and I wanted to go and check out the river while it was low. But that was during flood season, and even though they had all the gates open and they were trying to drain the river, it kept being above normal river stage, and I never did get to see when it had dropped below because it should have dropped about 15 feet. And I watched the river gauges until I finally just didn't have time anymore. But I'm definitely going to be doing some checking out on the Wisconsin River, and even down where it comes into Prairie du Chien down there. I'd like to check it out there as well. You found a half a gram in 2 hours. Holy cow! Wow! Yeah, wow! Well, you can't see it in this view. My baby head just fell off. There was commotion behind me. I wonder if here we go. Get this shrunk down. Remove that over there in the 403 prospecting T-shirt. The baby just fell down. I moved all this when I rearranged my office the other day, and I just have this balancing like that. So, uh, yeah, a half a gram in 2 hours is impressive. Very, very impressive. And especially since I know you're doing that by hand. Wow, that's going to be a destination for me. On the vortex where the water is hitting cement pillar. Oh, I suppose like a so it's not every time you go you find a half gram. You just happen to find um you happen to find one hot pool of it is what you're saying. And what's a typo, nerdy? Okay, okay. Yeah, that's kind of like going to Nugget Lake and digging 15 buckets. One bucket has a decent kicker. Well, it helps your average, but that doesn't mean that every time you're there, you're going to find a picker. Believe me, that's not what it means. But let me make this screen bigger again. So I should be able to get this thing. If I look at it, face tracking is on. I'm still playing with this new camera. Did it grab me that time? I can't tell if it zoomed in or zoomed out or not. Hard to look in two places at once. It might have went to sleep too. It's been on for a while, but so I bought myself an Insta360 cam, and I am really, really liking it. I don't even have half a clue how to use it at this point. Um, but I shot a couple of test videos, and then I played with it in my phone with their editing, and then I ended up um, I downloaded their software for the computer last night, and I was out in my yard walking around with the camera on a tripod, and I was intentionally walking around the camera, and I told their editing software to track me, and it goes in really slow motion, and it eventually it's done. And when I told it to hit play, it followed me everywhere I went. When I got close, it zoomed in on me. And then it seemed to even notice, like, if I pointed up like this, it would look up. It was so for my first test and playing with it, I was like, this is going to be a game changer. If you watch any of Dave from Gold Bay, Dave Verabioff, I think I'm saying it right. He's got an Insta360, and it's just in a tripod next to him, and he just grabs a tripod and slams it down next to him and gets right back to work. He's not looking at the camera and adjusting the shot. He's just, let me get you closer. And then, oh, let me put you over here. Let me put you over here. And then in production, post production, he's because it shoots everything all the way around in a big spear. And then so then in post production, he just tells it to follow what he wants it to follow. Then there was one video where the dog started going nuts behind him. And so as I hear it, he spun the video around so you could see what the dog was going after and then spun it right back around again, which is neat because it's recording everything. So I've been following these Insta360 cameras for a while. The X5 is their newest one. Comes with the selfie stick, and it's got the deal where if I'm walking with the selfie stick, it makes it disappear. And um, it came not yesterday, but the day before. I unboxed it and played with it a little bit. And then yesterday morning, I made a couple of videos. Last night, I played with it. I've been watching YouTube videos trying to figure out how to use it. And I'm definitely going to send some messages to Dave. Am I a friend of Flower Wizard? I would say yes. I mean, we're not super close, but we've been in communication with each other for the last year. He's helped me tremendously in the crick. I have his phone number. We text every once in a while. I'm in the Flower Gold Wizard Prospecting Association, where I can message him and every other member of the association directly. So it's a great networking tool at that. I know where a lot of these different guys are in the US. So if I'm traveling at all, I can just go right in and send them a message, ask if they want to get together. Hey, Adam, how's it going, buddy? So, I mean, yeah, I would consider myself a friend of his, but we're not super, super close. But I do know that we hang out in the pit together whenever we can. And I'm sure if I reached out and said, hey, I want to come up and visit you, he'd take me out. So hope that answers your question. I was, after watching him for 4 years or so on YouTube, I sent him one email. He responded within like an hour. And we've been in communication with each other ever since. He told me to come up to his outing, which I had just got done with 3 separate 1-week vacations in a row. And then a week later, he's like, come up to Nugget Lake. And I was like, all right, I'll do another vacation. How long have I had my channel? So if you look, YouTube says I've had my channel for like 17 or 18 years. And the reason for that is I've been selling stuff on eBay since before eBay would allow you to put videos on. So the trick back in the day, and we were selling stuff like forklifts and bucket trucks and, you know, 10, 20, $30,000 machines that people wanted a nice walk around video. So we would shoot, this is before cell phones had cameras. We would shoot videos with our digital cameras, pointing out all the features and benefits, which I've taken a lot of these videos down now. We would point out features and benefits of these. One of them was a C60 Chevy truck with a crane on the back. And we showed the crane in use. We showed all the welding equipment on there in use. We showed the thing starting, running, going forward, going backwards, the brakes, crawled around underneath of it. So a full 360-degree tour of this truck, and then uploaded that video to YouTube, which I think took all day long. And I had high-speed cable internet back then, and it still wasn't nothing compared to what my phone does on 5G these days. But then when we did the eBay listing, we put a link to my YouTube channel. So anybody that was looking at that, eBay lets you put the 20-some pictures up back then, and then you could put that link. So then people would go to that. So technically, I've had my channel 18 years. After my first outing with Flower Gold Wizard, I had made a bunch of videos for myself, and because my wife wasn't with me, so I could show her what I was up to when she showed up there. And one day I was just like, what the heck? Let's try to throw something on YouTube. And then I did a few more, and then I did a few more. And it's taken me over a year now. I'm beyond a year since I became a YouTuber, but I've hit where am I at? 550. I haven't really been looking. Subs. I've got 3,500 hours of watch time. I'll get it and actually look. So, long story short, that's where I'm at and how I got here. So, I never really intended on doing the YouTube stuff, but this kind of day like today, what else am I going to do outside freezing my butt off? So it's been a fun distraction from life. So yeah, currently I have 546 subscribers with a almost 8,000 views. Oh, that's the last 30 days. I think where my total views are at. Oh, in here. It says I've got about 3,500 hours total in the last year of watch time. So I must be doing something right that people have wasted 3,500 hours of their lives watching me. And as you see, there's 5 of us in on the lives. The lives aren't really it for me, and it's the middle of the day. Like if I go live at night, I'll get people. I hope to get some people when I finally do my giveaway party, which I don't exactly know when. Maybe Sunday night. I'm not sure yet. Curtis and Bob have the shit show Sunday, so I don't want to go up against them. But I've got a ton of prizes I'm giving away. This ring that I'm currently making will be available as a choice if I have it done, which I should. Um, but I've got these other 2 rings as well. And so I'm going to be giving away a ring. And this is, so be one of those. I got pictures on stickers. I got pay dirt bags. I'm definitely giving one pay dirt bag away to whoever went on my AI generated video, that minute-and-a-half video talking about my party. And I mean, I'll say, Nerdy, if you've got the content, or even for me, sometimes it motivates me. I could just sit and look at YouTube all day. I could watch Cletus McFarland and Greg Biffle and all of you YouTube prospectors and Jason and Lucas. I could watch all day long. I could literally sit on YouTube till I'm 600 pounds. But there's days where it's like, man, I need some content. So I'm going to get up tomorrow. I'm going to get in my truck and I'm going to go somewhere and I'm going to dig and I'm going to video it and I'm going to come home and edit it and put it on. And it does keep me active when I don't have a lot going on. Right now, Gene, I haven't been selling any pay dirt. Um, the pay dirts I have gotten rid of, I've either done on giveaways, hey donkey, or duck races. So I would like to have more people participating in my lives before I attempt duck races again, because it's gotta you gotta sell enough ducks for it to make sense. So the last set of duck races I did kind of was a break even. I mean, I turned a bag of dirt in a ring into some actual cash and was able to do some stuff with that. But I would if I would have tried to give any more than that away, it would have been a losing deal for me where I'm better off just having my gold in a pile. So, but I have considered making up 5 or 6 pay dirt bags. My biggest problem right now is that's That's all the gold I have. So there's 2.5, 3 grams in there. So, some people want 1 gram bags. Well, I can make 3 bags. If I make quarter-gram bags, I can make 12 bags. So, Brian Walker, you love bacon. Awesome. You know what I'm not following? My vertical feed chat. Am I missing out on a bunch of people in the vertical feed chatting? Let me turn that on quick. I always forget there's 2 chats. I'll be happy when YouTube combines vertical and horizontal chats together. Now I can actually turn them on StreamYard and they'll show on screen. But all right, so there's my vertical feed. Oh, well, it looks like they did combine them. You guys aren't all on vertical, are you? It does seem confusing to have 2 separate rooms, which is one of the big reasons why we combined our broadcast from Red Dirt Nation into one. Um, we were using it to get individual watch hours racked up, but it wasn't really amounting to a hill of beans for our individual channels. And then with this change, we went from 4 and 5 chats to 8 and 10 chats. So um, I'm just going to pop this chat out. And then stick that right there for now. And then this one up. Pop this chat out. Hey, see Jason Miners in chat. So yeah, you guys must all be vertical. And I've been watching the vertical chat this whole time, forgetting that the other chat is there. Oh boy, I just messed up my whole screen. All right, get rid of you. Oops. I just killed. Oh. All right. As long as StreamYard's still here. I just killed the whole window with you're buying dirt this winter, that's why I asked. Well, I will be making some bags soon for sure. I'm getting through my giveaways first because I want to make sure that those are good. And I might make up a couple of bags for duck races. And then beyond that, I might throw a couple up for just straight up sales. So in time. I'm going to fix these chat windows quick, guys. And then I will get the music back on because I kind of like that. It gives you something to listen to besides me breathing hard. I will for sure, Gene, for sure. And shrink that down, bring that up. I'm definitely going to have to shrink these. There we go. Make that a little smaller. So, oh, you guys can see what I'm doing over here. So I have this vertical window, and then I put both chats in like that. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. All right. And then, so you trying, sorry, Jason. I forget. AAA, what's going on? Yeah. Looks like my chat's in another live. So I am streaming vertically and horizontally. Um, and people started popping up in the horizontal chat, and I've been talking to them all along, not realizing that I wasn't following the other chat. So what I can do is I can turn on the comments so you guys can see each other now that I don't have my Ring camera in the way. And then make this big again. So there you guys go. Jason Miner, Gene. Jason Miner's got pay dirts for sale. If you can see that on the screen. And he is in the other chat, but it looks like he popped over to this chat. So, all right. And yes, it is confusing for sure. I totally like both feeds, but I really wish it would put the chats together. And the only way I have of combining the chats is by putting them on screen here, which if I would have had them on screen all along, I would have been like, oh, hey, you guys are in the other chat talking. So I apologize for that. I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger. Make this one a little bit bigger. There we go. Triple A. Otterman. I missed you all together, but I'm going to get you added as a moderator so when you come back, you guys need more. Oh, man, you guys were just talking up a storm in there. Empty Pan was in there. James was in there. Did I get an address for you, James? I sent you the address straight away. All right, guys, I'm going to answer some of these chats right after I turn Amazon Music back on. Amazon Music. Amazon Music. James Master of None got up to 230 subs today. If you guys aren't watching James. Hey, Gene, I don't know what nobody lives here typed, but oh, this is gay. I see it on screen. Thank you for getting after him there, deleting the message. Don't be afraid if they're going to be jerks like that to give them the longest time out that you can give them either. If we can't get along and be cool in chat, shut them right down. So, all right, Jason's doing business. Perfect. I have to find royalty-free music again. If I can spell royalty. There is so much. There's a half-naked girl at a piano with royalty-free music. I bet that one gets more views than any other one. Sound effects library, music collection, soundtracks. Well, let's just play it, see what happens. Oh, I don't like that one already. Oh, yeah. Oh, these ones are all short. So the last set I had on was were way longer. Brewer, what's going on, buddy? Fast as fast can be. royalty-free music collection and soundtracks. Those are all shorties too. Oh, there are some longer ones. That one actually had someone talking. That's the first time I've heard that. All right. Let me just minimize this again. So hopefully I don't shut that whole window down. I didn't realize there was multiple windows in that tab when I shut it down. So, James, back to James. I sent you a text last night, man. I'm gonna make sure it's sent. Text messages. James Master None. Oh, how stupid. It didn't send. It was there. I just didn't hit the send button. Yeah. So, where are we at? There. I suppose, James' number isn't there. But yeah, James, that address was there. I literally just had to type send and it sent it to you. So, yeah. Chop, chop. Get to it. Get to the post office. I told James not to send Travis's pay dirt bag to Nick because I thought I was going to be sending some stuff to Nick. And then as it turned out, I'm not sending stuff to Nick, not right away anyway. So I told James he had to send his pay dirt bag directly to Nick. And he's like, oh, cool, no problem. Give me his address. So I was in chat with Nick at the same time. I says, Nick, send me your address so I don't got to go looking for it. And then I just sent it right over to James, but I forgot to hit send. So he's got it now. He has got it now. It's kind of neat to see all these people in here chatting. No, I'm not watching another live, but yeah, AAA, you're half right. You're half right. I just got to remember to bring up both chats. The other thing I have figured out, you can see these over here stacked up. So this is the vertical and horizontal or vice versa. I don't know which is which. But if I log into YouTube as my Red Dirt Nation account or our Red Dirt Nation account and pop those chats out, I can bring them up. A lot of times I'll do the 4 chats on the big monitor and then I'll move me over to this monitor you guys can't see over here. And now I can watch my channel and or I can watch the Red Dirt Nation channel, vertical and horizontal, and I can be watching it as Carl Madley and watching it as Red Dirt Nation, so I can comment. Or I like last night when I was live with Jason E. Jason E. Whoever was live last night, I think it was Jason E. He's only broadcasting in horizontal, not vertical, but I had the chat up side by side, kind of like it is over here right now. And then I was watching, both chats were almost identical, except if I went into the left chat, I was Red Dirt Nation. And if I typed into the right chat, I was Carl Madley. All the while I'm logged into YouTube with my other YouTube account looking at other stuff. So it gets super confusing, and it took me a day to figure that much out. But having the multiple monitors makes a huge difference. And the vertical monitor makes it nice because I have 2 fairly good sized chat windows, and then I can zoom them. You guys can see how big I can make them get. But so it's really nice. I can keep on. Barbara Julian, let me take a peek at your channel. Hi, how are you? Go to channel. Power Dog, 55 subscribers, 440 videos. You have put out a tremendous amount of videos. But yeah, let me click on subscribe while I'm in here. I'm just going to click on a video quick. You can't see me over here playing. I'm in the other monitor. But I'm going to say hi, comment, close it up. I'm going to like the video. So I have liked, I have commented, I have subscribed. I'm going to get rid of that. And like I said, I like what I saw, so let's make you a moderator. Boom. You are now a moderator. Thank you for joining up. 406. You're listing? Is it like to the left? Like a boat with too much cargo on one side? Or are you listening? I gotta give you some shit, Short Bus. How you doing, homie? I up here playing. Let me see. How do I get back into here? Put this back up on stage. Working on a size 8 ring, Stacy. I'm not guaranteeing who that might be for, but I got a size 8 ring in the mandrel right now. So that's going to get his attention. That's going to get his attention. Oops. There we go. I did an error 406. Took it all down. Anyhow, Stacy, and thank you for listening. I hope you're having a good day. Hope you made it to work today without having to be towed home, fix your truck, and then go back to work 4 hours late like earlier in the week. I've had days like that. My truck didn't even start today, as we covered. I need a new battery in both of my trucks. So that's fun. I get to go out and spend $150 on batteries. I do have a salvage yard. I go and buy batteries that they take out of the cars. They sell them. They used to sell them for $25 plus a core. Now they're $35 plus a core. And whenever I'm nearby that place in the summertime, I'll swing in just to buy a battery for $35 because I like having extra batteries at home. And but this time of year, everybody knows about the place, so you can't get a battery in the wintertime. If you do, it's going to be some weird shape, not going to fit your vehicle battery. But Starlink gave me the old buffer again. But so yeah, 12:31 in Wisconsin. 3 more minutes. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock. But this is about the time I had planned on going out and firing up the heat in the garage and getting the next phase of the project I've been working on done. I need to get 3 of the rafters. Well, I need to get 2 of the rafters cut. The 2 end rafters actually sit on a flat 2x4 that's already running across between the front and the back wall. And it's a hair lower than the header. Oh, I got to put the freaking second top plate on yet too. So I got that to do, which isn't a big deal. I just got to nail top plate across, cut the next piece and nail that across. But once I get the first rafter that sits on top of the 2x4 in place, then I have to set the rafters that sit on top of the upper plates next to it, and then I have to mark out my 11-degree fish mouth that I have to cut to drop it down. So 1, it doesn't sit like this. It actually makes full contact with the top plate. And 2, so that it matches the one next to it that sits on the flat 2x4 that goes across the top plate. So Um, Zach, what's going on, buddy? You just finishing up lunch? You're just starting. We were talking about you earlier, making another ring over here. Um, so yeah, the shed is a 10 foot by 20 foot with a 10 foot front wall and an 8 foot back wall, and that's going to give me my pitch for my roof. And so somebody's here. Why are you home again? Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense. I'm just glad it's you and not your mom, because if your mom was back again at this point, that usually means she's broke down. So my daughter just came home again because she's got a job interview and she's dressed like a ragamuffin. So there we go. There's the 1, 2, 3, 4. And no, it's not. Oh, 22. It's not 22 degrees outside. It's in the direct sunlight, right on the other side of that window. The little outdoor sensor is. So, um, yeah, nerdy prospector. So I started this project earlier this summer. I've got 6x6s laid down. We dug and leveled the yard and set them all in with the lasers so they're all perfectly flat. And then we put 2x4s across the 2x6s flat with 2x4s screwed into them, toenailed into the 6x6s and screwed into the other ones so that that 2x4 can't dip down. And then I had a 10x10 platform with 3/4 inch plywood top, and I had an 8x8 platform with a 3/4 inch plywood top. And we flipped those over upside down, insulated them, added another 2x4 across the bottom. Actually, we insulated them, put a layer of plastic on, stapled and taped it, sealed it all up from bugs. And then we put 2x4s because it's 2x10 on the outside, 2x6 in the center. So we put the 2x4s across, which made the bottom all flush. And then, hey, Barb Julian. And so then when I flipped those over, those 2x4s sat perpendicular to the 2x4s on top of the 6x6s. So now the thing's all free floating, but the 6x6s are treated. They're up, and that puts all the rest of this untreated wood well up and out. And then the whole thing's going to get um, not steel, but aluminum flashing down all the way around it. So nothing will be able to get in underneath, maybe a mole, but we're trying to keep animals and rodents and bugs out. And then the 8x8 platform, I actually added another 2x10 to the outside to make it 10x10. Spliced all that together, did the same thing, insulated it, um, plasticed it, put those extra 2x4s in, and then we flipped that over. And so now the two 10x10 platforms are sitting on top of the 10x10 foundation, for lack of a better word, and they're screwed together, screwed in, screwed everywhere we could screw, and they're insulated. So I just need to go around the outside with the flashing, and that gave us um, our 10 foot by 20 foot foundation, which all of that stuff up to that point was used materials that I had stockpiled, and I brought out and just I screws left over from jobs. So far to that point, I have $0 invested in it, just some time. And what do we got here? Oh, okay. And then I did go and buy 3/4 inch plywood, OSB, 5/8 tongue and groove. Honestly, is what it was, not 3/4. And I covered that entire deck with a brand new layer of plywood. We wanted an extra thick floor because it's going to be a weight room. There's going to be thousands of pounds of weight in there. So we don't want it to bounce or give. We don't want to drop a 45-pound plate and have it put a hole. So there's a solid 1.5 inches of plywood. And then the front wall, like I said, is 10 foot tall. It's got a 6-foot sliding glass door in the center. There's a window on either side of that. And then there's 3 transit lights above those and on that 10-foot wall. The back wall is 8 foot tall, and it's got, I took an old sliding glass door and I took just the doors and I turned them sideways and turned them into windows. And then there's another regular window between them that matches the 2 windows in the front that's actually openable with a nice screen. So the whole front's glass, pretty much the whole back wall's glass. And then on the one end side wall, nice deep north. I'm going to get you modded up. On the one end sidewall, I have one more pane from a sliding glass door turned sideways, and that is another window that doesn't open. And so anywhere where you're in there, the 3 walls all have windows in them. You'll be able to see out. The 4th small wall has a regular door in it, and I have my hot tub, my little 2-person hot tub, is in a 8x8 building that's portable, and it was an ice shack someone made, and we don't ever get enough ice for me to use the dang thing. So I put my hot tub in it, put it next to my house. So instead of having to sit outside in the hot tub or have the hot tub take up space in my garage, I can just run into the little room. And you'd be amazed, man. You close the door, it's insulated. So as soon as you open that hot tub up, the room warms right up, and it's great. So the plan is, when this fitness room is done, we're going to pick the hot tub room up and move it and line the doorways up. And you'll be able to walk from the weight room into the hot tub room, and it will no longer be, it's actually right below the American flag. If I walked over there and shouted you out the window, you would see my little hot tub room next to the house. So I figure since we're running power out there, we might as well do all that. And and then the rest of that wall is going to have a TV. I've got a big 55-inch TV going there, and it will have the controls for, I'm putting speakers on the ceiling, and a Bluetooth head unit, which I'm going to buy the Bluetooth head unit from Amazon. So I put one of these in for a customer before. It's like a little 35 or 50 watt little Bluetooth box. It's got an FM tuner in it. It's got audio inputs, and it's got Bluetooth input. So the TV, which is a Roku TV, will be fed into that. So the sound will come out throughout the entire, I think I got 4 or 6 speakers to put in the ceiling. And then so we can watch fitness videos or YouTube videos, or throw our favorite music up, throw Amazon Music up on the TV, or YouTube videos up on the TV. You'll be able to hear it through all the speakers in there. Or if you just wanted to go in and work out, sync your phone to the Bluetooth, throw on your favorite music. But we listen to Pandora. My wife uses Pandora. I use Amazon Music, and so I'll have Amazon Music in the Roku, and so that's probably where the music's going to come from. So, long story short, that's what's up. So yesterday I finished up the final end wall. I do got, I think, 4 short 2x4s that I have to nail in. Yesterday, this is how it was. I would go out and I would get maybe 20, 30 nails put in, and then I would have to go in and warm up, because even with gloves on, my fingers were freezing. And so I was doing other things. I'd go in the garage and I'd warm up in the garage, and then I'd go out and do something else. I also put all my ducks away yesterday. They do not like being locked up. But I did notice last night they were quiet, or they've been making noise at night. They've been restless at night. And I don't know if something's out there messing with them at night, if there's a predator or whatnot. But they've been restless at night. Last night, couldn't hear a peep from them. And today, when I walked up to their coop, and their coop is huge, it's nice. It's got a wrap all the way around it so no wind gets in. There's like this much wood chips on the floor. And then they've got a nesting box with a red light for heat, but they never go in there. So when I let them free range, they'll sleep in the yard. And then, so anyhow, I have them in that. They're locked in because they're too stupid. They will literally lay in the driveway and freeze themselves down in the driveway. And so with them locked up, I figure once it warms up again, I'll let them out. But in the meantime, they also like to just lay eggs wherever. And I don't mind an Easter egg hunt in the summertime. I can go out and I can pick up 6, 8 eggs every day, just wandering around my yard. But I have no eggs in my refrigerator right now, and I haven't had to buy eggs in forever. And when I do find them in the yard, they're frozen and broke. So now that they're laying in the nesting box again, I'll be able to go out and pick all my eggs up and start having eggs for breakfast again. So that is that. In the meantime, guys, we're a little bit later than I wanted to be getting off from here. It's been real fun hanging out with everybody. Um, I'm sure when I decide to come up and finish this ring, which could be tonight when it gets dark, I'm just going to click on and go live again. And if you want to come back and watch me um, get with this, um, it's nice and solid right now. Let me turn it back on. Let me turn it back on. Gonna make me small, and then I gotta make this guy back on the stage. Oh, uh, this one. There we go. I'm gonna make it big so I can see again. But yeah, you can see it's it's not. I'm scraping pretty hard. Every once in a while, you'll hear a tiny little rock fall off from there. But so the next step now is to go ahead and get the grinder out, Dremel grinder, get that shaped, and then I will be checking it for holes. And then the polishing process is rather quick. So your uncle will not eat duck eggs because of the war. I don't understand what war. Is there a war on duck eggs? I do know that when you first start eating duck eggs, they have a little bit richer taste. Yeah, you had me confused, and then you had me even more confused. Um, oh, what kind of stones am I setting in this? There is strips of copper deep north in there, and then there is this is all Uperlite. So since it's still zoomed in on it, I'm going to go ahead and turn the light down, and then there you go. You can see. Look at that. That's probably one of the best views of the orange we've got yet. Off on. There we go. So that's what Uperlite does. So when I get her all polished down, it'll have that effect, and then there's going to be little pieces of copper set in it. And I'm probably going to make one with just the Uperlite in it because it's cool. Oh, because of Vietnam. I'm still not fully understanding. There must have been you must not have been able to get as many chicken eggs in Vietnam. Um, but yeah, when I had free range chickens, all we ate was the chicken eggs. When I had free range chickens and ducks, occasionally I would eat the duck eggs, but I didn't really care for them. Um, and now that so we don't have chickens anymore because they get into everything. Ducks, every once in a while, they'll come up on my porch. But we'd come out in the morning and there'd be like 20 chickens just hanging out on the porch, shitting on everything. And, or they literally, they'd be like, oh, this is my spot now. The chickens just take over. And so it's, deep north. I will definitely talk with you about faceting some stones. I have been looking into getting set up to do faceting, and That's just the money right now is the holdup. But I do have 2 bags of sapphires right there. One of those is 2.5 carats right now. I know you're gonna lose like half of that faceting it, but um, yeah, we want these faceted in the worst way. And maybe I can talk with you if you're interested in me sending you a couple of stones to do. I'd be down for that. But I definitely want to talk with you about faceting because I'm looking at some different machines. Um, yeah, we'll have to talk some more for sure, Deep North. But I don't want to start a whole nother conversation when I'm actually trying to wind down. But yeah, undo that guy. Make me big again. There we go. Oh, you've cut a bunch of Montana sapphires. You got one from the pay dirts. Awesome. So yeah, and these aren't Gem Mountain or Phillipsburg sapphires either. These are Spokane Bar sapphires. So if you're familiar with the difference, Spokane Bar had that second geothermal event after the sapphires were created. There was that second geothermal event that cooked them and gave them the really kick-ass color. Where the Gem Mountain or the Phillipsburg ones haven't had that second geothermal event and they need to be cooked and cut. So hopefully you understand what I'm saying. And if you watch my video when I got these at Spokane Bar Sapphire Mine, the lady at Spokane Bar explains that way better than I just did at the very end of my video. Oh, and Eldorado Bar as well. Yep. Yeah, and I did the Eldorado Bar bag from Spokane Bar, but I did the Eldorado Bar bag. Um, and so we had me and Travis and Nick, we all did different bags. I got, I think it was 50, 100, and 150, or 50, 75, and 100. 100, what was it? It was Spokane Bar, Eldorado Bar, and then Mother Lode Eldorado Bar, I think were the options. Again, I'll have to watch my video to remember. But I bought the most expensive bag that was supposed to have the better stuff. And it was night and day difference between what I found and what Nick found in his $50 bag. And Travis too. Travis had the expensive bag, and then people around us, like, oh wow, you got a big one. So well, we paid for the bigger bag. We got the better deal. Um, and then I bought another bag for my wife who didn't get to go with me, and I brought that home for her. And then I did everything but bring a bathtub out for her and made it as close to what we were going through. I brought home the Spokane Bar. Um, what do you call the brain fart? The sieve. There's a word for it. But anyhow, yeah, I brought that home. Gave her the same lesson. Had her watch my video where the girls were giving people lessons. So this is what we learned. This is what we know. And so one of these bags is all the ones. Actually, this is a mixture of the ones I found and the ones she found, and then you can see they're sorted by color. But she actually found a nicer sapphire in hers than I found in mine, but mine was bigger, but her color was a more sought after color than mine. So, where are you at, Deep North? Oh, Jason, I see you're leaving. I'm sorry I missed you, but have a good day. You're in Michigan. Okay, okay. Fossicking is an Australian term. All right. So, of course, I thank all of you guys so much for hanging out with me. I am definitely going to shut this down for now, get out to my shop, get a couple hours of this project done. I figure this has got to be the warmest part of the day. And like I said, if I can get these first two rafters cut and up so I can get them marked, and then I can, everything else is in the garage so I can do all my cutting. As far as setting the rafter up and running 4 screws into each rafter, that I'm not concerned about. I can go back and forth as if I need to warm up, but it's the 11-degree cut on the front and the back, and then getting the fish mouth all cut. So I got a warm shop to do that in, and then hopefully I just start carrying rafters out one at a time, screwing them down, and then I've got another layer of wood to put on top of the rafters. So, all right, you guys all have a wonderful, wonderful day, and like I said, when I get sick of being cold outside, I'll be back in. I'll go live again and finish rubbing on this ring. So these are going to post to my YouTube channel. So whether or not you're here for the later live, you can always watch it again later. Appreciate each and every one of you. Have a great day.
Hi. What else do you like and subscribe? That's right, buddy.